What's up, team? Welcome to the video. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I use this little yellow OTR branded lacrosse ball to feel better and move more freely. So what we are talking about is myofascial release, and specifically trigger point therapy, but not from a massage therapist or a physical therapist, but from this device that is very inexpensive and can be done on ourselves using the wall or using the floor. But I want to preface the video by saying that this isn't an area where I necessarily feel like an expert. I never really feel like an expert, but I'm less confident in my knowledge of soft tissue than I am in, say, nutrition for fat loss. Just so we're clear. But I want to talk about personal experience here. We also, like, the scientific community knows far less about soft tissue than they do other areas of the human body. So like, we collectively just don't know as much about what's going on compared to other, compared to our organs or compared to like other functions of the human body. So there's that, as well as me just not being as good at this. But I want to talk about 3 ways that I use this for trigger point therapy. So if you feel around, like, you can feel knots on your muscles, right? If you like touch your body, like right here, bone, right? Super hard. But if you feel like within my upper trap, I can feel, you can even hear it, right? I'm just pressing into the muscle, and I can feel like sometimes it feels like a rope on some people. Sometimes it feels like, just like a little nugget of something pretty hard. But what I look for is those areas on a muscle, and I'll give you an example. So I'm actually going to name 3 common ones that I like to do that I would call computer chair worker fixes. So one, and for anyone type A, keeps a lot of tension in their upper traps, you're going to have spots in your upper traps. And what I'm doing is I'm looking for one of those spots, and when I find it, and you find it because it's like somewhere between a 5 to could be a 9 out of 10 on the pain scale, but I want to sink into it and literally spend about 30 seconds, because as you lean into it, the pain is going to reduce. Over 30-45 seconds, the pain's going to reduce, and then once it doesn't really hurt, I'm just going to move like 1 to 2 millimeters and continue to dig into that spot and spend a little time there. The point being to break up this fascia, which one is going to lead to me being in less pain in the future, and 2 is going to increase the range of motion of that muscle usually. The second one that I like is the pec minor, which runs north-south underneath the pec major. Should be a little less clothed for this. Right, so here I actually find that I can get in there best with my arm behind me, but feel around. And for those of you who press more than you pull, and for anyone who has bad posture sitting at a desk with internally rotated shoulders, someone who doesn't do their wall slides, doesn't do their no monies, you're going to have someone who doesn't stretch their pecs, like this guy, you're going to have tighter pecs, and this is going to serve you in a better way. You're just going to drive more benefit from this move. So it's hard to see where I am, but that's probably like a 6 out of 10. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a spot, same thing, I'm going to hang out there for 30 to 60 seconds, and then I'm going to move it just barely, spend another 30 to 60 seconds there. And I'll do this pre-workout if I'm feeling super tight, but ideally I like it as a wind-down activity at the end of the night for 4 to 15 minutes, depending on what I'm doing. The last area that I like to hit, and there's more than 3, I wanted to share 3. I'm actually blanking on what the third one was. Upper trap, pec minor, and underneath my scapula. So under my shoulder blade, and literally just like from out closer to my lat all the way down here, I'll just kind of play around until I find a spot that hurts. and hang out. And you, I don't know if you can hear that noise. This is gonna be a weird video, by the way. But you'll feel it, like tension builds up when you're moving the ball slowly across it, and then when it crosses over the whatever it's called, an adhesion, a knot, you'll feel that the ball went over it and that it kind of jolts to the other side of it. But yeah, that's how I use this ball that was a gift from my friend Mike, who has a podcast called, it's on the screen, something grow rich. We had a great conversation, and yeah, it was a nice gift from him. But that's how I use a lacrosse ball, to feel better, to be in a little bit less pain, to move more freely. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. See you.